Passes that we saw the quarterbacks completing in warm-up were short slants and short turn-ins. Anything further than maybe 10 yards was anybody's guess. Leonis McKelvin is deep for the Buffalo Bills.
You think the wind's at his back?
Almost completely out of the end zone. And Buffalo will start on its own 20-yard line. There is Trent Edwards, the Bills quarterback, their quarterback of the future, engineered the comeback win last week at Denver in his second season out of Stanford University. The offensive line. Kirk Chambers starting for injured Jason Peters at left tackle, Derek Dockery at left guard. The backs and receivers, Marshawn Lynch will miss the season finale with a sore shoulder. Fred Jackson starts at running back.
There you go, Duke.
We will see some interesting decisions on fourth and short yardage today, too, I imagine. And the Bills will start it off with a give to Fred Jackson, and Jackson up the middle for about 4 yards. Let's check the Patriots 3-4 defense. A bad back as Richard Seymour sideline. Number 97, Jarvis Green starts at defensive end. One of the true bright spots in the New England linebacking core is Gerard Mayo. And Junior Seau will start as well. And another rookie has stepped up. Fourth-round pick Jonathan Wilhite from Auburn starts at left cornerback.
Well, with the wind at their back, this New England defense is going to smother the line of scrimmage. Look how many Patriots are in your picture.
On 2nd and 6, it's Jackson again. And Jackson trying the right side. To about the 29.
And Greg, that's really effective running by Buffalo with this many people on the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right out of the picture over here is number 9. They've got 9 people within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And yet, I think Buffalo ran for 4 yards a pop on each of their first 2 runs.
As Trent Edwards comes up to the line, he is looking right into the teeth of the wind blowing in his face. 3rd and 2. Jackson for a first down. Across the 30 to the 32-yard line. There is Dick Jauron in his 3rd season here in Buffalo. And you saw how the Bills' season has spiraled since a terrific start, and they have yet to beat an AFC East opponent this season.
Yeah, they opened up the season at 4-0. Worked their way to 5-1. And yes, it has tumbled away since then.
First down now from the 32. Jackson again. Coming this way. Trying to turn the corner, and he does, and he's out of bounds just across the 35-yard line.
Boy, the Bills are screaming for a flag for a late hit. Their whole bench is jumping up and down. Great job by Fred Jackson getting to the outside. All right, let's take a look at it. Merriweather's got him there, running him out of bounds. Yeah, and I see what they're upset about. James Sanders put his shoulder on him when he was out of bounds. I'm really surprised that wasn't called. Fred Jackson was a good yard out of bounds when James Sanders put a pretty good shot on it.
And again, if a flag has been thrown, it may not have come down yet.
Good point.
2nd and 4. Jackson.
Well, finally, Greg, New England stops a running game, a run. If they've got to be a little discouraged, 8 and 9 people on the line of scrimmage, and Buffalo was running it right at them, moved the chains, broke contain. That was the first effective job of defending the run the Patriots have had in the early going here.
So Trent Edwards looks at a 3rd and 4. 5 offensive plays, all on the ground for Buffalo. Number 25, Xavier Oman, the rookie out of Northwest Missouri, is in the backfield.
Any pass is a shot in the dark into this wind.
Give us to Oman, and he's not going to get the first down. Jarvis Green makes the stop.
Well, Bill Belichick is going to get for his team what he wanted, and that was the wind at his back early in this game. Talking to him yesterday, Greg and I were discussing the win, and he said, you know, I think back to with the Giants NFC Championship game against the Redskins at the Meadowlands, and we had the wind at our back, and by the end of the first quarter, we're up 17-0. He goes, I know they get the win after that, but it's a big deal.
Now let's see what kind of yardage the Bills can get on this kick. Low and short and bouncing toward the sideline and out of bounds at midfield. That punt with a grand total up to welcome back as the Patriots start from their own 49-yard line, and the give is to Sammy Morris. And Sammy Morris inside the 45-yard line of Buffalo. There is Matt Castle. He's done all you can ask of a number 2 quarterback, stepping in for the injured Tom Brady this year. The offensive line is anchored by Dan Copen in the middle, and a major offensive weapon is New England's Pro Bowl wide receiver Wes Welker. 109 catches, more than 1,100 yards receiving this season. Pickup of 7, 2nd and 3. Morris again. And another couple of yards as we check out the Buffalo 4-3 defense. Ryan Denny starting in place of injured Aaron Schobel on the outside. An active middle linebacker and second-year man Paul Posluszny. And in the secondary, the Bills are missing their talented corner Jabari Greer for a 6th straight game. Rookie Leotis McKelvin starts at right corner. 3rd and 1. And Lamont Jordan is in the New England backfield. Jordan gets the handoff, runs into his own man, and is thrown for a loss. Ryan Denny made the stop.
Boy, that is a bitter disappointment for New England that they weren't able to convert that. But given the situation at the wind at their back, I think they're going to go for it on 4th down. And Bill Belichick talked about the strategies involving the wind.
Kevin Falk is in the backfield on 4th and 2. From the shotgun. And movement up front.
Oh, Nick Kasier is upset with himself, the right tackle, because now they're going to have to punt it away.
77, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Oh, that's a long trip to the sidelines. They're in the spread formation, and Kasier at right tackle gets a big old start. Man, that's frustrating. Patriots have to kick it now.
McKelvin and Jackson are deep. And you got to figure Chris Hansen could get some yardage with the wind at his back on this kick. Bearcat ball bounces past toward the end zone, into the end zone, grabbed by the Buffalo Bills. Fred Jackson fell on the loose rolling football. And it is ruled a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20.
Well, the big question here is, was the ball touched? Hard to tell. McKelvin did look at first blush. At first blush, it did look like he touched it. Matthew Slater had a shot at it, couldn't pull it in. That's the right call. That's a touchback.
Welcome back, everyone. The officials doing their best to hold on to the football at the 20-yard line. The Patriots came oh so close to a touchdown.
Yeah, watch the fingers of Leotis McKelvin right here. Watch them move as the ball grazes it. So that's a live football. And Matthew Slater, who had a clear shot at it, not able to corral the football. A really bad series there for the Patriots. Not able to convert with the wind at your back, and then a chance for a huge play goes unwanted.
On 1st down, Jackson up the middle, gets about 3 yards or so. Roosevelt Colvin making the stop. Still no pass by either side yet in these windy conditions.
And we're going to be seeing a lot of Fred Jackson today. Marshawn Lynch, he of over 1,000 yards for the Bills for the 2nd straight year, is inactive today because of a bum shoulder. So Fred Jackson is going to be getting a lot of work today.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson again sidesteps a tackle, sidesteps another, and maybe gets 2 yards out of the play up to the 25. Mike Vrabel making the stop. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Here's what Buffalo is missing. 1,115 last year and over 1,000 this year, and a real workhorse, a power runner, and man, would he have come in handy in a game played under these kind of conditions today.
Well, let's see if Edwards puts the ball in the air here on 3rd and 5. So far, Fred Jackson, the busiest man in the stadium today. Jackson straight ahead, bounces across the 25 to about the 27. It'll leave maybe the 28. It'll leave him a 4th and 2.
And again, the Patriots just defying the Bills to throw the ball. They had 9 players within about 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And right now, the New England Patriots call timeout. Bill Belichick.
I think he wants to conserve the time with the wind at his back. I think he wanted to pick up 40 seconds.
First punt went 13 yards. This is a little better kick, but look at that one dive and bounce out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
This front going through the entire East Coast, though. That ought to be wild this afternoon.
This is Sandy Morris, and Morris is wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage, and once again Ryan Denny with a big defensive play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, with the wind at their back, it certainly would be easier to throw the ball, and I would suspect that at some point in time we are going to see a forward pass in this game.
So far, 13 offensive plays, all running play. 2nd and 10. Castle going to throw it. Short on the outside. Evans up the sideline, still on his feet, inside the 45, and a 1st down.
Well, a good, safe, very conservative throw to Heath Evans from Matt Castle. And of course, play action means something after you've been running the ball as much as both these teams have. And a good job there by Evans of looking the ball into his hands. Talking to Wes Welker, asking him about the wind, and he said it's incumbent upon all of us to focus much more than ordinary. We've got to look the ball into our hands.
Here's Sandy Moore trying the left side and has running room inside the 40 to about the 37, where big Marcus Stroud needs to stop.
I think you saw with that timeout how much Belichick is playing the wind. I think he's thinking to himself, I'm not really going to need my timeouts in the second quarter when I'm going into the teeth of that wind.
He gave us both sides when we talked to him yesterday, talking about how it'd be nice to have it in the 2nd and 4th quarter, but you'd also like to put up some points early with the wind if you can.
He would like the lead, and who wouldn't? But especially in the wind. You got to take advantage of having this wind at your back.
2nd and 2. Morris to about the 33, where Kavika Mitchell makes the stop, but that's another New England 1st down.
I think if either one of these teams today plays a quarter with the wind behind them and doesn't come out of it with any points, is going to be bitterly disappointing.
Now, the direction that the Patriots are going, we watched the kickers warm up, and the field goal kickers were launching field goals in this direction. You could easily see a 60-yard attempt in this direction. Castle throws. Heath Evans, and Evans close to the 20-yard line, and another Patriot 1st down.
Well, you got Welker and Moss clearing everything out downfield, and again, look how effective the play action fake is to Sammy Morris, and underneath all alone is Evans. You're getting these guys locked up in a zone coverage with man underneath. The corners turn and run with the wide receivers. There's a whole lot of real estate for the guys short.
On 1st down, Sammy Morris tries the left side and pulls his way close to the 15-yard line. Ellison and Stroud with the stop there. 4:15 to play here in the 1st quarter.
The wind really swirls inside the stadium. It was really unusual getting here this morning. One of the goalposts was blown one direction. The goalpost at the opposite end of the stadium blown the other.
Morris again. And Morris ducks just to the 15-yard line.
Here's the look that we saw when we got here this morning. Take a look. This goalpost going this direction. This goalpost going that way. Now you tell me how that's possible in a stadium. The wind is catching one corner of the stadium, swirling around the bowl.
Kudos if you can split the uprights on those. 3rd and 4.
The Bills could have used one of those leaning goalposts back in 1990 in a Super Bowl.
And Castle calls a timeout. They use their second timeout. For the 3rd and 4 at the 15-yard line of the Bills. Castle will throw for it. Short one over the middle. That's complete to the 10-yard line. Incomplete. In and out of his hand.
Wes Welker, is he hurt? He was down on the ground, like he doesn't look like everything's quite right. There he is at the top. He's going to come underneath his tight end Watson, clearing downfield. He's got the ball and he never does put it away. He never did have control of the football. You can see right there that's rolling around. And what constitutes a reception in the NFL? That doesn't qualify.
So now the New England Patriots, Steven Gostkowski, the leading scorer in the National Football League. From 33 yards out, this kick is up and straight enough, and it is good. 3. The goalposts were straightened before the game began, but you can tell that the wind has taken its toll on that set of uprights.
If you got in late last night, it's not your fault. They really are leaning.
Gene Steratore says in the event of some crooked goalposts, when it's time to kick an extra point, they will take time and bring the equipment out and straighten it as best they can. 3-0 New England. Low kick. Grabbed at the 20-yard line. Brought back to the 30 by Spencer Johnson. Still on his feet and finally out to about the 40-yard line.
Heat pattern in that Chicago game. I don't think we'll see a lot of those today.
Not intentional anyway. Fred Jackson. Wrapped up. Makes it back to the 40-yard line. The line. 2nd and 10. Jackson again. Jackson turns the other way. Makes it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard more before Jarvis Green makes the hit.
Oh, Greg, you got to admit, these are the kind of conditions that you talk about these games for a long time afterwards. I was there that day the wind blew.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. Trent Edwards going to give it to Jackson, and Jackson will run it road midfield into New England territory and a 1st down to the 47-yard line.
Well, there are 11 of the most frustrated people in the world out there wearing white jerseys when you haven't even attempted a pass on 3rd and long yardage. Whoa, who would ever imagine a draw play? And Fred Jackson, with great blocking and a sleeping New England defense, is able to convert for a 1st down.
And Ellis Hobbs is down on one knee down on the field at the 46-yard line.
And that's just what the Patriots don't need, is another injury to an already depleted defense. It's in the number 1 defender in the backfield, Adalys Thomas. Make an argument their best linebacker. And then Wheatley and Pierre Woods, great special teams players. It's been tough.
Fred Jackson there got whistled before the play began. And we'll get a false start against the Buffalo Bills.
False start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Right tackle Langston Walker. We said hi to Gene Steratore on our way into the stadium today, and he just shook his head and he said, "Are you guys going to be inside today?"
We said no, but we won't be quite as exposed as you are to the wind. The officiating crew here today, just like we saw Leotis McKelvin touch that punt, there might be a lot of those kind of plays today where the ball moves at an odd angle, and going to be some tough calls as to whether it was touched or not, grazed off someone.
Let's see if Trent Edwards puts the ball in the air here on 1st and 15. Nope, Fred Jackson.
That's the least surprising thing I've seen in a while. They haven't thrown one the entire quarter.
And And what they will be content to do is wait to get the wind to their backs, which they will do in 6 seconds. And if yet to throw a forward pass, we can see that change here on 2nd and 15. Edwards with time, throws and hits his man at the 40-yard line. Lee Evans has inside the 40 to about the 38.
And Greg, let's just talk about the first quarter. What a big victory for Buffalo to not throw a pass until this play right here, and you can see a laser throw by Edwards, running it exclusively, a quarter played entirely on your half of the 50, and you're only down 3-0. I think Dick Geron and the Bills would take that in a heartbeat.
Now Edwards and the Bills with 3rd and 2. Back to the ground game to Fred Jackson, and he is stopped short. And now bounces inside the 40 and pulls his way inside the 35-yard line.
Marshawn Lynch and Fred Jackson have been doing this all year. You think the play is over, the whistle doesn't blow, and they keep driving their legs. Fred Jackson just disappears into a sea of humanity there and comes out the other side. That is awesome. That is awesome to watch that kind of leg drive, that kind of work, putting a hand on the ground, maintain balance. Great job by Fred Jackson.
And we get a whistle on the snap, and another false start going to go against the Buffalo Bills.
False start. Offense. Number 80. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the tight end, Derek Schumann. Hey,
carrying it full time. You know, he's already hauled it 13 times already.
1st and 15, Edwards on the move. Going to keep it and run out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Fred Jackson had 160 total yards in that win at Denver last week.
Well, Trent Edwards, who's been bothered by a pulled groin, missed 2.5 games, admitted that he's not all the way back. Looked to me like he was a little tender jogging back to the huddle after that long run. Anytime a guy with a groin injury takes off with a football like that and has to make a cut, you got to watch him pretty closely.
He picked up 4 in the 2nd and 11. Jackson and Jackson to about the 30-yard line. Once again, remember, the Buffalo Bills are playing the spoiler role, and they can knock New England right out of the box. And now Fred Jackson looking like he's coming off the field under duress.
Well, his right arm or right shoulder looks like that's. Yeah, they're grabbing his right hand. Take a look at the lack of experience behind Fred Jackson.
Xavier Oman is now into the backfield, the 6th-round draft pick out of Northwest Missouri. 3rd and 9. Give us to Oman straight up the middle.
Xavier Oman on the carry.
And that should bring the field goal unit on, led by place kicker Ryan Lindell.
And the crowd expresses their disappointment with the fact that they didn't put the ball in the air on that 3rd down with the wind behind them.
So Lindell, with a season long of 53, will line this one up from about 47 yards out.
New England's got to remember they're playing a team with nothing to lose. Watch for fakes and anything like that.
Kicker's on its way. Look at that here.
Hoyt Wilhelm would have been proud of a knuckleball like that.
Ryan Lindell says, I wanted to go this away, and it went that away. Hey, the Patriots have the football moving right to left on your screen. Lamont Jordan, right side. And Kavika Mitchell with the stop.
Well, the Patriots have been effective running the football all year, but keep in mind, they always had the threat of really being effective throwing the football. 2 weeks ago, 277 against the Raiders. Last week, 183 in the snow against the Cardinal team that put up virtually no fight whatsoever. And that is the way you protect an inexperienced quarterback. Josh McDaniels going to the run, and they've run it more effectively than they have in 25 years.
On 2nd and 3, here's Lamont Jordan trying his left side and appears to have enough for a first down at the 48.
Well, the first one to the right, the second one to the left behind Heath Evans. And again, the Patriots have the luxury of 3 accomplished veteran backs in Morris, Jordan, and Falk. A lot of experience helping out Matt Castle, and obviously a veteran offensive line. 3 of them went to the Pro Bowl last year, none of them this year.
Here's Lamont Jordan. And he's stacked up as he crosses midfield. Now, keep in mind that going in this same direction in the first quarter, the Buffalo Bills did not put the ball in the air once. Ran the ball every time, just as the Patriots have done here so far in the second quarter.
Well, that missed field goal gave everyone who was wondering how much the wind affects any ball that's in the air. It gave us a good look at the bad things that can happen. Question, will they let Matt Castle try one into the wind? If they do, it's got to be short, and it's got to be thrown really hard.
2nd and 7. They're going to run it with Jordan. And Jordan still on his feet. First down to the 40.
Well, let's take a look at this from down low. No surprise here. Everybody bunched in there. That's the old formation where we used to say one hand grenade would get them all. And that was just great muscle work by the guys up front. Heath Evans with a good lead block. But again, the luxury of being able to rotate. Here they have Hochstein at fullback.
Now on first down from 40, here's Sammy Morris. And Morris back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Kyle Williams making the stop. 8:42, 8:41 to play here in the first half.
That's a formation the Bills have been using. You see number 71 there, Russ Hochstein. The backup guard, he comes in to play fullback. Nothing like having a 305-pound fullback. Pow,
Ooh.
there he comes right in there. That was a big-time collision. Good job, though, by Buffalo is standing their ground. He'll come in, play tight end like he is right here, or fullback.
On 2nd and 10, here's Jordan, and Jordan is going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
I think the Raiders and the Rams are showing that they're on scholarship, too.
3rd and 11.
They're expected to play hard.
Castle going to put it in the air. Going to keep it. Out of bounds, 35-yard line. It'll be about 5 yards short of a first down. And let's see what Bill Belichick does here on 4th and about 5.
It's a real luxury for a linebacker and a defensive back when the quarterback leaves the pocket. You're much more inclined to fall off your coverage and come up and support and force the run, knowing that the chances of him floating it over your head downfield are pretty negligible.
He is not going to kick into this wind. They're going to go for it on 4th and 5.
Oh, you wouldn't make a field goal from there in 50 tries.
Castle on the move. First down inside the 30-yard line to the 28.
Oh, Matt Castle and Reggie Corner were lined up there one-on-one, and the victory goes to Matt Castle. What an effort by Matt Castle. Watch when he comes out of here. He breaks off to his right. One Buffalo defender, the rookie number 27 right there. Castle lowers the shoulder and then spins away for a positive 3 yards to move the chains.
Now from the 28 of the Buffalo Bills. They're going to run it up the middle. Inside the 20-yard line is Lamont Jordan. Once again, JB Adrian Peterson's ability to run the ball is outshined only by his ability to administer a strong handshake. Here's Lamont Jordan. And Jordan inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. That's another first down for the New England Patriots.
Boy, in the Patriots offensive line right now, they are getting it done. Watch the hole here off right guard. Again, Hochstein with the lead block, but Copen, Neal, Kaiser, they got it. Take a look at this hole. They're going to open up. Boy, nice crease right there. Hochstein comes through and takes care of Kozlowski. Logan Mankins comes around on the pull.
Quick snap, Jordan. 8 yard on the play to the 12.
Now keep in mind here, Greg, they're working towards the leaning goalpost.
Yes.
If they were to attempt a field goal, a short one into this wind, or even an extra point, we're going to have a stoppage while they come out and try to straighten that up.
I feel like we're in Italy.
It's got to be a little disconcerting for the players to keep glancing up at that and have it be a little offline like that.
Well, Steven Gostowski will get a little bit of a rest while they straighten it. Second and 8. Jordan. To the 10. And the wind continues to whip around the players and officials. And we get a timeout called by the New England Patriots, their third and final timeout. In fact, everyone, word from the field is that Buffalo took that last timeout. New England 12 rushes. Ball hasn't gone in the air yet in this direction in the second quarter. Sammy Morris, left side. To the 8. Sammy Morris. Now onto the field comes Steven Gostowski, and according to the officials, they will first have to deal with the leaning goalposts at this end of the field.
Well, Gene Steratore announces to the crowd that, and the crowd boos like, what? The visitor has to kick into crooked goalposts? Oh, a real lack of sportsmanship here in Buffalo. Well, how's it look? I don't see anybody there with a level. I think Gene Steratore gave it the old artist thing and said, hey, looks good enough to me. That's the way to do it, Gene.
So now Gostowski will line this one up from 26 yards out into the wind. No gimmies here today.
Now, we did watch them in warm-ups, and they were able to knock them in from about 30.
The kick is no good. It's like an e-ticket at Disney World.
Imagine this. At this end of the field, it gets blown off to the right. At the other end of the field, the other way. Kicker in the Pro Bowl this year, his first time. Congratulations to him.
Fred Jackson back into the lineup, and Edwards going to throw with the wind. With time out here, that's complete to Schumann as tight end. And out of bounds at about the 22.
Put me on a skateboard and give me a sail, I might be down there in about
20-25 minutes.
Maybe so.
On 2nd and 7, here's Fred Jackson. Stacked up at about the 26-yard line.
Fred Jackson, the ball carrier.
Clock continues to move, coming up on 3.5 minutes to play here in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Buffalo.
Not only would Buffalo love to play the spoiler today and knock New England out of the playoffs, which is what happens if New England loses, but man, it has been a long, hard road in trying to beat the Patriots. Patriots have a winning streak of 10 games against the Bills. What, 15 of the last 16? Bill Belichick and his club just own the Buffalo Bills, much to the consternation of people up here.
Now on 3rd and 4, Edwards going to throw. On the move, going to run, diving for the first down, and appears to have it.
Boy, this is going. Where are they going to spot this? It looks like they're going to. Ooh, just over the line. He got that by about 6 inches.
No hesitation on Trent Edwards' part.
No, that put the ball away at the last minute, which he does. And again, no hook slides here.
Now officials holding on to the football until the last moment, or else that thing will end up about 30 yards downfield. First down. Edwards throwing outside. That's complete. And that may get no yardage at all. Derek Fine with the catch.
Pass complete to Derek Fine.
think they're going to give him a pretty good spot for about a foot.
Yeah.
Boy, it looked like that snap, by the way, Greg, was almost mishandled.
We come up on 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in windy Buffalo. 2 minutes to play. Second down from the 31. Jackson. Bounce it again. 40. Midfield. And out of bounds inside the 40-yard line of New England Patriots.
Man, you gotta love Fred Jackson. This guy just doesn't quit. The human pinball here, bouncing off of people, off his own blockers. Nobody from New England was in the cutback lane, and man, did he find a crease and go. Remember, he had gone off the field with his right arm being looked at by the medical staff. Good news for the Bills to say that he's back out there. Wow, love that effort.
Only 51 to play from the 37 of the New England Patriots. Once again, Jackson. Backed up this time at the 35-yard line. Buffalo with 2 timeouts remaining, and New England with 1.
Well, if I'm Buffalo, I'm get moving here, guys. Don't waste a lot of time in the huddle. You got a couple timeouts. You got a minute and a half left, and a lot of it is the old country saying, "You're burning daylight here, guys."
Country is
Come on. You're burning daylight. You're wasting time. Spinning your wheels.
Tabor off the backfield. Edwards straightens up, throws a quick out. That is complete. And a timeout is called to stop the clock with 1:09 to play.
Well, Trent Edwards came off in discomfort. Watch his left leg right over here in this area. His left tackle, Kirk Chambers, falls on it. He came hobbling off, and they were looking at him. He ran out there pretty effectively. Didn't limp on his way back out, but that hurt.
This is the 50th offensive play of this game. There have been 7 passes, and here is Jackson inside the 30, inside the 20. Jonathan Wilhite with the stop. 55 seconds, and the clock is moving. Dan, a couple of weeks ago, we did the Buffalo game against the New York Jets. Fred Jackson and Marshawn Lynch ran the same way.
Absolutely. Look at Fred Jack. He just will not go down.
Jackson. And a timeout is called as the line of scrimmage will be drawn up at about the 15-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 28 seconds to play.
Kicks at the opposite end of the field. The wind is hitting this stadium and going around in a vortex. It is really crazy down there.
Fred Jackson has 100 yards rushing on the day. Buffalo out of timeouts here in the first half. 2nd and 8. Play fake. Edwards throws. That's complete. And out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line is Derek Schumann, the tight end. That stops the clock with 22 seconds to go.
And good news for Buffalo is that Trent Edwards is showing that he's able to move and move effectively with the football. That was a good job getting out of the pocket. Not hurried at all. Boy, and it's tough to cover someone who fakes blocking first like Schumann did and then releases. But I thought Buffalo, back around the 2-minute mark, was a little casual in how much time they were using.
And the play clock is now down to 7 and 6, and they're not going to get this play off, are they?
Boy.
3, 2, 1. Got the snap off. The give is to Jackson. Still on his feet.
They have no time. Now the whistles are blowing. Why do we hear whistles blowing?
Why is Fred Jackson running off the field with the football? Well, the scoreboard shows all zeros.
But we heard whistles. Wait a minute, we heard whistles.
And Gene Steratore is going to wave him off the field.
Well, was I hearing things?
Not at all. Let's go back and take a look in real time. Gene Steratore has left the field.
Now this is Buffalo. They're going to get off the snap. this is a legitimate play. But we're under 20 seconds, and yeah, there's pushing and shoving going on.
The line of scrimmage at the 9. So the ball was blown dead, but the clock was never stopped.
But we heard whistles, but yet it appears to be halftime.
In order to keep any hopes for the postseason, they lead Buffalo by a score of 3-0. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf. Let's go back to the way that first half ended. 22 seconds on the clock. Some really poor clock management on the part of the Buffalo Bills.
What they're going to try to do is run the football and then get their field goal unit out onto the field and execute all this in 22 seconds. Unfortunately, Duke Preston, their center, gets engaged in a skirmish downfield, and while he's down there pushing and shoving, those whistles we hear are the whistles trying to separate those two guys. Duke Preston comes back to the huddle with zeros on the clock and going, oh, what did I do wrong? What a dum-dum.
And we're in contact with Mike Pereira, the head of officiating in the National Football League, and he says because Duke Preston was involved in that little bit of a skirmish, they aren't going to give the Buffalo Bills the benefit by stopping the clock and letting them run another play.
And I think you really got to question, could Buffalo really run the football and then get out there and set up for a field goal in extremely tricky wind conditions in 22 seconds? I know they practice it. Obviously, they felt that they could, but you know what? I'd like to give my kicker a little more time to get situated when he's got a kick in this kind of wind.
Second half coming your way in high definition. 3-0 New England, and they will get their hands on the football to start the second half here. Pretty good kick down the line, sideline, and into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So once again, the Patriots with a win here and a loss by Miami at New York will give the Patriots the AFC East and a number 3 seed. They get a wild card in the number 6 seed with a win and a Baltimore loss. And if they lose to Buffalo here today, their playoff hopes are gone.
How much indigestion that causes Patriots fans to have to root for the New York Jets.
Sammy Morris behind Castle, and Morris, not much there. Kyle Williams, number 95, with the stop.
And a reminder, Jets fan for a day, for just 3 hours, I think, from 4:15 to about 7:15 this evening, coming up right after this. But keep in mind, folks, if you weren't with us in the beginning, the Patriots are moving into the teeth of the wind. Neither team in the first half even attempted a forward pass going this direction.
Here's Sammy Morris again. And Morris to about the 32 and not much more. It is windy, and boy, has it had an effect on the play calling here today. With the wind, 19 rushes and 8 passes. Look what they've done against the wind.
And what's really unusual is New England has scored their 3 points on a short, it was into the wind. No, I take it back. They had the wind at their back. That was their first. They missed the last one with Gostkowski.
And now,
lost my mind. Lost my mind there for a minute.
Going away in the wind.
It's nuts.
3rd and 7. Castle under pressure and goes down. Kyle Williams with the defensive play again.
Well, Chris Kelsey was back there too. I think he was the first guy that got Castle on the run. Again, the play action's been very effective, but you can see right there, Kelsey was the first guy there, and then he got some help from his teammates to clean up.
Players scrambling on and off the field with the play clock down to 10. And they're going for it on 4th down. And now Buffalo takes a timeout.
Well, they had to. They had about 18 guys on the field.
Punted once with the wind. This is his first attempt into the wind today.
He'll be lucky if this doesn't come back over his head.
Got off a pretty good kick. And a pretty good bounce.
That was a very good kick.
That's not a bad job by Chris Hansen. That's going to be ruled out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That's a 46-yard kick. Let's go back to Matt Castle and show what happened to him on that last offensive play.
Well, you know what hurts? A knee in your back. Watch Marcus Stroud, number 99, the right knee right into the kidneys of Matt Castle. Now, they wear pads back there, and thank heavens for that for Matt Castle, because that pad absorbs some of the blow, but obviously a bunch of it got through.
Good thing Marcus Stroud's a little guy.
Yeah, he's only 6'6", about 330.
So first down for Buffalo now at their own 36-yard line. 8 pass attempts in the first half today. That's the fewest in the league since 1991. Jackson breaking across the 40 to the 45. Close to the 46, close to a first down.
Well, Fred Jackson is a guy that I don't think a lot of people knew much about him outside the Buffalo Bills fan base, but there is so much to like about this kid from Coe College. He's got awareness, he's got good vision, but man, I love his leg drive and his effort after contact.
He has 112 yards on 21 carries. His career high is 115. Jackson again. And he won't get back to the line of scrimmage on this one.
No, it's not like any of these runs are taking anybody by surprise. Get a good look, some good balance there. 9 up in the middle between the tackles, 8 outside to the left, 4 to the right, with great effectiveness. And again, he's having to do all the heavy lifting with Marshawn Lynch being inactive today with a bum shoulder.
3rd and 1. And Jackson again. Jackson moves the pile for the first down.
You just come to expect it. It's like you watch Fred Jackson disappear, and then you watch the pile keep going. This is shades of Bronco Nagurski going in here. Not that I ever saw Bronco Nagurski run, but I always envisioned that that's kind of the thing that happened.
But you blocked for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, if I did, you were there to call the game.
First down. Now at the 48-yard line. Xavier Oman is in the backfield, and he's going to try from the side, spinning. He gets decked on the far side of the field. Coming up from the secondary, Brandon Merriweather with the stop. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
Oh, how these Bills would love to ruin New England's season. They certainly threw a kink into things for the Denver Broncos last week, going to Denver and beating them there. And they would love nothing more than to do it to their fellow AFC competitor, the New England Patriots.
Let's see if Edwards puts it up here on 2nd and 9. Straight drop. And look out! Loose ball on the ground. Who's got it? New England says they do.
I think Mike Vrabel's got it.
Jarvis Green, starting for the injured Richard Seymour, came in and hit Edwards from behind, created the loose ball. New England with the football. Jarvis Green, who caused the fumble. Patriots with the football now at the Buffalo 43.
Dan, where's the whistle, Matt?
Randy Moss hasn't caught a ball yet today. Sammy Morris inside 35
Sammy
to the
Morris,
34, and just short of a first down.
Well, sometimes the quarterback fumbles the ball because he held on to it for too long. That wasn't the case here. Trent Edwards just gets back there trying to find a receiver. Great pass rush by Green as he gets around Dockery and comes in, and Edwards has no idea that he's being closed in on from behind. And Mike Vrabel, I'm sure, could hardly believe his eyes that the ball was just right there in front of him.
Christmas a few days late. Sammy Morris in the backfield on 2nd and 1. Morris for the first down.
Sammy Morris with the handoff.
And we talked earlier about the Buffalo Bills That is 15 lost fumbles behind only the 49ers. It's the 33rd fumble of the season that they have put on the ground. They've been very fortunate that they recovered so many of their own fumbles. That's averaging 2 fumbles a game. That is really unacceptable.
And all of this surrounding Dick Jauron, and there's been an awful lot of conversation around here as to whether or not Dick Jauron will come back. If it were left to the players, it would be a yes. The players love their head coach here in Buffalo.
Oh, I don't know anyone who's ever spent any time around Dick Jauron who doesn't think the world of it. He was a heck of a player in this league. He is a fine man. But this is all about winning.
And his Bills
and it hasn't been happening here.
His Bills have had their problems today. The clock management thing at the end of the first half. They missed a 47-yard field goal with the win. They've had a 13-yard punt, and they've lost a fumble, as you just mentioned.
Dick Jauron's 2 previous years, he was 7-9. This year, coming into this game, 7-8, and looking for a chance to get to 500 and close it out with an 8-8 season. The reason we're holding up some moron ran out onto the field, we're not showing him. You don't give people like that publicity. But that's if you're wondering why we're showing coaches walking around.
It's with a capital Mo.
And the crowd, of course, gives him the obligatory cheer as he goes directly to jail. Does not collect his $200.
Cannot pass go. It'll be considerably less windy there.
That's really looking for the bright side.
First down from the 33-yard line now for New England. Sammy Morris will try on the left side. To the 32.
Sounds like that ball's dead.
Sammy Morris on the carry. Spencer Johnson in the slot.
Running backs earning their keep this afternoon.
No gain on the play.
Well, a running back loves to have a good fullback out in front of him. Let's see what Heath Evans does on this play. Good job. Good hitting by everybody there. Evans with a good block and then a good stick on the tackle by the Bills.
Lamont Jordan now in the backfield. He gets the handoff. Running room, 30, 25, inside the 25 to about the 24.
See, and this is where the depth at running back really shows up for New England. Fred Jackson has been doing all the work for Buffalo. He's already carried the ball 23 times. But New England has the luxury of having some real depth. And this offensive line, as they've been doing most of the year, outstanding run blocking up front. But when you can go from Morris to Lamont Jordan to Kevin Falk, by the way, averaging over 6 yards a carry on the year. That's excellent.
3rd and 1. Jordan going to be called on. And coming up short. In fact, he lost a yard.
Outstanding penetration up front by Buffalo. They were across the line of scrimmage. Take a look at this. You got Matt Light trying to pull and get around, and he can't get there because Keith Ellison was 2 yards into the New England backfield.
Dan, the guesswork is out of it. We haven't seen a pass attempted in this direction all day. And now 4th and 2.
And it's too far for a field goal into this wind. You got to go for it.
The play clock is down to 6, 5, 4, 3, and timeout is called. 4th down for the New England Patriots at the 25-yard line. 4th and 2. Lamont Jordan in the backfield. Play fake. Castle, first down inside the 20 to the 18.
And Castle on the quarterback.
Pretty much a designed run all the way. Josh McDaniels had time with the timeout to talk it over on the sidelines with Matt Castle. Buffalo between the tackles, stacked up in there shoulder to shoulder. And everybody found out very early on when Matt Castle replaced Tom Brady that the kid has great legs and can really motor.
Now from the 19-yard line, Jordan again, of course, maybe a yard or two to about the 17. You know, Matt Castle, and we've talked about this in the last few weeks, Dan, This is a young man who was called on to replace Tom Brady, has performed very well, and becomes a free agent at the end of the season.
And will put the Patriots in a real pickle that they don't want to address. To franchise him would be an expenditure of $14 million plus. That's tying up an awful lot of money at the quarterback position.
Here's Jordan, right side. Stacked up as he reaches 17.
You know, it's always fun to look at stuff like this. Don't draw too many conclusions, but the first 14 career starts for both of these guys. You just obviously, Tom Brady led his team to a Super Bowl win that year, but Matt Castle, that's pretty impressive. Now, yes, he is surrounded by great talent, and he's been coached very well. And as Dick Duran pointed out, he said, you know what? The 3 years he got to watch, all he saw from Tom Brady was success.
On 3rd and 8, straight ahead, inside the 15 to the 14 is Lamont Jordan.
Wow, and even from here, a field goal is dicey.
Now, Matt Castle hasn't even attempted a pass since the first quarter. They're looking at 4th and 5.
And even from this distance, they're figuring out that going for it gives them a better shot than Gostkowski kicking it.
Kevin Falk is into the game for New England. 3 receivers near side. 2 for 2 on 4th down so far today for the Patriots. From the shotgun, Castle throwing, complete, Welker to the 5, and out of bounds at the 2. It'll be 1st and goal. Wes Welker's first catch of the day.
And obviously, Buffalo not anticipating that they would throw into the wind at all. How could you be any more open than Wes Welker was there? In that cluster formation, Gaffney and Moss go deep. No one underneath the cover Welker. Beautiful play design and great call by Josh McDaniels. Excellent job.
So now 1st and goal from the 2. Lamont Jordan, right side, touchdown. And in these conditions, that's huge.
Our first score of the game into the wind. And what an impressive drive by the New England Patriots.
11 plays, 41 yards, taking about 6 minutes off the clock. Now it's 9-0. It's no guarantee that it'll be 10-0. Gostkowski kicking into the wind.
Nice job. Nice job.
Snap is good. The kick is up. And the kick is straight. No, it is good.
It almost came back.
Lamont Jordan, 2 yards out. 10-0. Patriots. This kick is going nowhere. It's going to come down. Jackson goes back, now back to the 30 and out to about the 34-yard line. So, and 4.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd. Interesting to see if Trent Edwards and company start throwing the ball all over the field while they have the wind to their back. Over the middle, that's complete across the 40 to the 42. Derek Fine.
And I'd go no huddle. I'd treat this like the end of the half. Get up to the line. Use this wind for the remaining 4 minutes and 15 seconds if you got it.
Because you know what's going to happen when you turn it around. You're going to have little or no luck at all throwing into the wind.
We've seen one attempted all day. The one we just saw by Castle on 4th down to 1.
Back to the ground game. Jackson bouncing and going nowhere this time. That'll take some more time off the clock. Coming up on 3:50 to play in the 3rd.
New England will be more than happy to watch the seconds tick away while the wind is at Buffalo's back.
Meanwhile, how about these New England Patriots absolutely needing a win today, pitching a shutout so far, 10-0.
Well, they have enjoyed in the past some success against Buffalo.
Some.
15 of the last 16.
3rd and 4. That's incomplete. Going outside. Lee Evans incomplete to James Burton. All right, JB, thank you. On 4th and 4. Moorman to kick it away. Low snap. Got it away. It'll bounce inside the 25 and out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Now Castle is cooking from the 15-yard line. Here's Sammy Morris. Sammy Morris dragged down by Brian Scott. Again, first things first for the New England Patriots. They need a win here over the Buffalo Bills. Then they have to look for help elsewhere. They can make the postseason as champions. Should Miami lose to the Jets, they can make it as a wild card with a Baltimore loss.
Well, it's no surprise that the way the AFC East has looked all year that it was going to come down to the final Sunday.
2nd and 10. Morris again. To about the 18.
You know, the funny thing is, Greg, as we approached Halloween, the team that was in command of the AFC East was the Buffalo Bills.
That's right. The Buffalo Bills used their second time out, hoping to get some wind to their backs again. And we are resetting the game clock now at 2:25. 3rd and 7. Castle in the shotgun.
Pointing out the Mike linebacker for protection purposes.
Castle throwing. That's complete. Kevin Falk out to the 26 and a first down.
Well, the Patriots demonstrate again that they will throw the ball into the wind. And, of course, who they're going to go to but Mr. Money, Kevin Falk. This guy for years has been delivering a lot on 3rd down. He's actually been running the ball very effectively so far this year with the injuries to Maroney. Nothing new. Kevin Falk catching the ball and moving the chains.
That conversion really hurt the Buffalo Bills. They were hoping for a bad punt into the wind and some good field position before time ran down on them here in the 3rd quarter. Now Sammy Morris. And Morris out to about 30. And we're down to a minute and a half to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Greg, those conversions we've seen going into the wind, I think, again, just point out how far Matt Castle has come and the confidence now that Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick have in him, not just to manage a game. I mean, Matt Castle is the point now where they can put it on his back if need be to win football games.
And I asked Bill Belichick last night, can you envision keeping both Tom Brady and Matt Castle, knowing full well that he'd say, oh, we don't talk about that till the end of the season. And that's what he said. Morris running with 35 out to the 39-yard line and another first down.
And the New England Patriots looking every bit the part of a team that's on a playoff run. Just outstanding blocking off left tackle, gets a good lead block. And the running back by committee, again, pounds away at it.
Lamont Jordan with 52 yards on the day. Sammy Morris with 60. And Matt Castle has added 19.
And we just saw Kevin Falk in the role he plays and his ability to contribute.
Morris, and Morris runs over a tackler at the 40-yard line, and he is into Buffalo territory. And Dante Whitner is still flat on his back.
Well, there's getting run over, and then there's getting hit so hard that it just caused damage.
Patriots with the ball and a 10-0 lead and the wind to their backs. In a position to run all kinds of time off the clock. Morris to the 40.
Keep in mind, Dante Whitner missed time earlier this year with a bad shoulder. This didn't help. Boy, what effort here by Sammy Morris, getting low, and Whitner had his legs too far underneath him, not able to get any leverage. and he takes all of that power right on the right shoulder, and you can see he's leaving the field as the training staff tries to immobilize it.
Meanwhile, Castle to throw. Gonna throw, and it's complete inside the 30-yard line to Randy Moss. Let's get an NFL Today report from James Brown. Jeff Garcia, grit.
No.
Jordan is wrapped up at about the 27-yard line by Kyle Williams. Meanwhile, Randy Moss with that catch. Andre Reed, one of the great names in these parts of the country.
No kidding. Tremendous receiver. Played here for Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills and Thurman Thomas and that awesome offense. He's on their wall of honor here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. And
13,201 yards for Randy Moss.
And Andre Reed, a receiver every year. He's up for Hall of Fame consideration and is so close to making it.
Here's Jordan. And Jordan is inside the 25 to the 23.
And there's another of Randy's accomplishments now as he ties Tim Brown and Jimmy Smith for having put together 9 1,000-yard seasons. Of course, that guy on the left, he has set the bar at such a height.
Separate planet.
I'm not sure we'll see that duplicated, but the way they've changed the rules and made it easier to pass, you never say never with somebody catching Jerry Rice.
And 7 for Castle. And on the slant, that's complete to Welker inside the 10. Italy first and goal.
Man, imagine going for a critical pass underneath in traffic to Wes Welker. Look at that throw, but it's out in front. He's not able to put his body on it. He has to go out and snatch it with his hands. And a Pro Bowl, much deserved for Wes Welker. We asked him what was his first phone call, and he said, to my parents. That is, Bill Belichick called him and told him, and what a great moment that had to be.
Warren looking for running room on the left side, trying to turn the corner, and is out of bounds short of the 5-yard line. The New England Patriots doing what they have to do here in the second half. 9 first downs to Buffalo's 1 in the second half.
Well, they knew what their job was. I'm sure they're uncomfortable having it out of their hands. If they go ahead and win this game, that's the only thing they could control. But needing help and facing the prospect of actually finishing at 11-5 and on the outside looking in.
13th play of what is a 78-yard drive, second and goal. They give this to Morris. Morris to the 5.
It's the PA announcer here saying Sammy Morris on the carry. That's something that used to happen an awful lot here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. First 4 years of his career, he was a Buffalo Bill. And then to Miami, Sammy Morris is just one of those guys that was right. Not a Hall of Famer, but a guy that a coach would like to have 15 or 20 guys on his roster just like him.
Now Kevin Ball on the field. Castle. The throw. End zone. Incomplete. Pass intended for Randy Moss.
Well, that's a pattern the Patriots love in the end zone. Randy Moss running a pattern here. You see a little stutter step, but then he breaks for the corner. And normally he can lay out with those long arms, but that ball just goes right through his hands. That's
just out of reach, and Matt Castles has just missed him. Now, from 23 yards out, Gostowski. Kick on the way. It's good. 10:15 to play. Fourth quarter.
Greg.
Picking it up, and is smothered at about the the 16-yard line. So, Buffalo down 13. Welcome back to Buffalo, everyone. First down, Bills in need of some yardage and some points on the board from their own 17. Edwards throws the quick pop, and that's complete to Lee Evans. And Evans out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Very much in the playoff picture.
If New England goes on to win here, the back door closes football.
Fred Jackson. Young man just refuses to go down. It has been that windy and then some here in Buffalo today.
Early this morning, some winds recorded in excess of 70 miles an hour, we were told, and some damage next door. The Buffalo Bills practice facility had a little piece of some of their roof blown off.
Second and 8, Edwards, short drop, passing outside. Jackson can go nowhere.
Well, you mentioned Jackson. He has acquitted himself very well. This is the final game of the season for the Buffalo Bills, who have no playoff aspirations, but he can head into the offseason feeling pretty darn good about the way he played on the close of this season. He has showed that he's got some pride, some character, and a lot of toughness.
25 carries, 116 yards on the day. That's a career high.
When you know the running game is coming at you.
3rd and 7 now. Edwards looking for a first down. Penalty marker flies. Edwards throws, and it is complete across midfield, but let's check the penalty flag. Robert Royal made the catch.
Yeah, you saw the preliminary sign there from Gene's territory that it's going to be a hold against Buffalo.
There's no foul for holding on the play. The result is a first down.
Well, he shows it, and then he gives it, he takes it away.
Look at the float of that football. Great catch, Robert Royal.
Good job by Royal of getting his hands underneath it. And then on the bounce, you can see he had it under control.
So they'll wind the clock again, and we come up on 8 minutes to play in the 4th. Royals' first catch of the day. Edwards looks around, short pop over the middle, incomplete, intended for Fred Jackson. We go once again. Brad Childress and his troops. Edwards running out of time and goes down at the 43-yard line. Jarvis Green, the first to hit him.
Good game here by Jarvis Green. That's his second sack of the day. Remember, he got in there earlier and knocked the ball loose. Jarvis Green filling in for the injured Richard Seymour, although in passing situations, Green plays an awful lot of football. And he's been one of those solid contributors on this Patriots roster for a long time. 7 years to be precise.
Richard Seymour didn't even make the trip, sitting back home. 3rd and 17. Edwards over the middle, inside the 40. The catch is made by Josh Reed, and that's about a yard short of a first down. You got to figure they're going for it here on 4th and 1.
And after a first half of nobody challenging the wind, going direct, throwing the ball, we're seeing teams throw and.
So 4th and 1. What do Dick Duran and his offensive coordinator Turk Schoner come up with? Fred Jackson in the backfield. Edwards throwing incomplete outside, and the ball will go over on downs. Patriots love the Jets. You bet they do, at least today. A Patriot win here and a Jet win would give New England the NFC East title. Coming up next.
Go into a passing formation, declaring that you're going to throw the ball, and then indeed you do, and you're not able to convert a 4th and very short.
2nd and 9, Lamont Jordan left side. Stacked up just across the 40-yard line. And Dick Duran, we asked him straight up about the call at the end of the game in New York, which resulted in a quarterback fumble. And he said it was his call, his decision, and he said, and if he had to do it over again, he'd do it differently.
Well,
because of the result.
My opinion is that no matter who made that call, Dick Duran would say it was my call. Marcus Stroud telling us that one of the things the players appreciate is that Dick Duran never throws anyone under the bus, player or coach.
And there's a quick kick by Castle.
You gotta love Belichick.
And he gets the roll down to the 10.
Oh,
the wind continues.
Oh, it'll go to the 1.
The football to the 5.
It'll go all the way down.
Matt Castle, the best punter in the league today. 57-yard punt by number 16.
You little devil.
By Matt Castle. Now first down from their own 1-yard line. Edwards throwing out of his own end zone. And that one is complete across the 10, across the 15 to Lee Evans, and out of bounds. Let's go back to that wonderful quick kick.
Well, the important part for Castle is to keep the ball somewhere in the middle of the field. Make sure it lands between the numbers, because if it'll do that, then the wind will take care of the rest of it. There's no way that this ball will ever come to a stop until it hits the wall surrounding the field. That ball would have kept right on going until it hit a solid object. That's how strong the wind is here today.
And that's a terrific coaching decision.
Yeah, sure is.
Edwards. Look out. Great screen. On the move. 20, 25. Takes a lick and goes down. Courtesy of Brandon Merriweather.
Well, Trent Edwards is doing his darndest to try to see if they can't avoid a shutout and put something on the board. Mike Vrabel was telling us they were upset that they lost the shutout last week against Arizona, a 47-7 win. They're fighting for it here today as well.
Edwards bounces that one in, incomplete. A reminder, Dolphins, Jets still to come here on CBS, and Jacksonville and the Baltimore Ravens. Playoff implications abound.
Well, Jacksonville would have gotten into the playoffs if the Patriots would have lost here today. Their game this afternoon would have had no meaning. Well, that back door no longer available if this continues the way it looks and ends up being a Patriots victory. So Jacksonville's going to have to win.
How about the possibility of New England being 11-5 and not making the postseason?
Well, it's happened before, but that has to hurt.
3rd and 1.
My guess is he got it. Looks like his forward momentum.
Clock continues to move with 4 minutes to play here in the 4th. It is first down. Edwards throwing his complete over the middle. You said it's happened before, Dan.
Yeah, here are the all-timers. Check that. Detroit back in '62 when they were only playing a 14-game season, 11-3. On the NFL Today earlier, Phil Simms talking about watching Brett practice, saying his arm looked pretty good to him. Said he was making all the throws. If the receivers open, he'd get it there.
10. Edwards getting throws. It's come across the 40 to Lee Evans. 3.5 minutes to play.
I think the wind has quieted a bit. It's still pretty brisk. It's not as severe as it was in the first half of the game.
It's down into double digits. That one is incomplete to the far side of the field. Dan, back at the end of the 0-2 season, Miami, New England, and the Jets all finished 9-7. That's the last time New England missed the postseason.
As it is for an 11-5 team.
It's the nature of the beast, but it's got a grind on you if you're 11-5 and you miss the postseason.
When you think that tonight San Diego might get in being 8-8.
Sure. Edwards, straight drop. Throwing, incomplete. Sailed on it over the head of Robert Royal. And he's on the ground, and so is the New England Patriot right next to him.
I think anyone say whatever you want about Trent Edwards. I don't think you can question his toughness.
Go, tighten, Mayo.
Time on the play clock as Edwards resets. Throwing outside. That's complete and out of bounds short of first down is Evans. So it looks like it'll be 4th and about 2.
And you would agree with me, would you not, Greg, that out pattern, that would have been an impossibility in the first half?
Yeah.
To be able to throw that ball with any precision and any sort of velocity and control on it. I don't think that was possible early on.
Either that or it has taken some 3 hours to make the adjustment to the wind.
No, I don't think that's the case. And that was the forecast, was that as the afternoon went on, it was to quiet somewhat, which means it's probably only down to about a 20 mile an hour steady wind right now.
Play clock running down, and Buffalo has
timeout.
It's third and final timeout, and Trent Edwards is livid at not being able to get that pass off.
Person that I'd rather would be Matt Castle himself.
Where are you going,
You're right.
4th and 2.
His phone will be buzzing.
Edwards running out of time. Penalty marker's down. He goes down. Penalty marker on the near side of the field, and it looks like a holding call.
Lakeven Smith got in there and got the sack.
Looks like it'll be a hold against New England.
Prior to while the quarterback was in the pocket, illegal contact, defense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Penalties on Gerard Mayo, the rookie out of Tennessee.
So that sack comes off the books. The chains move. And Buffalo is still alive. If the conditions were better, you'd say, hey, a touchdown, an onside kick.
This is not Hail Mary weather.
No, but I've seen weirder things. Although this would rank pretty hot.
Edwards on first down. Throwing outside. That is complete. The first down, Robert Royal. Chains move to the 34.
Trent Edwards is throwing the ball with a lot of precision here on this drive.
Welcome to those of you joining us here in Buffalo. Coming up on 2:45 to play. That's a complete pass to the near side of the field. The Buffalo Bills trailing New England here 13-0. The Patriots needing a win here to stay alive for the postseason, and then needing a little help have done exactly what they had to do in some very, very tough conditions here at Ralph Wilson Stadium today, Dan.
The wind was a big part of this game. In the first half, going against the wind, neither team attempted a forward pass. We had teams going an entire quarter going into the wind without even offering up a forward pass. Conditions were that difficult.
Edwards trying to get the Bills down the board. Outside and incomplete. Intended for Lee Evans. Meanwhile, Matt Castle, efficient at quarterback for the New England Patriots. 6 out of 8 for 78 yards. Morris has contributed 85 yards on the ground. Lamont Jordan has added 57. You look at the numbers for Castle. It has not been a passer's day here in Buffalo. 3rd and 10. Evans throwing and incomplete.
Well, you can see the wind got that ball.
Intended for Robert Royal, and Ellis Hobbs thought he had himself an interception until the ball sailed on him.
That ball immediately looked like it went right up into the wind. You see the nose got a little high. Actually, it ended up right on his hands. That was an optical illusion from up here when that ball actually ended up being right on Royal's hands.
So now it's 4th and 10.
That actually was a very good pass by Trent Edwards.
Being pursued heavily, and he goes down. Gerard Mayo. And that will put the clamps on Buffalo for the day.
Well, that's the #1 draft pick of the Patriots, and he can scoot. Gerard Mayo can really run. I think Trent Edwards thought that he was going to cover some ground getting out in the open, and Mayo just ran him down.
Trent Edwards' blind side has not been the best protected spot all day long.
No, it hasn't. He's been under some duress. The Bills have really, they so desperately wanted to end this winning streak of the Patriots, which looks like it's working its way towards 11 in a row.
And that one should take us to the 2-minute warning. I doubt
From Football League. I don't see Bill Belichick's name on it, and this might be the best job of coaching he's ever done.
Well, we talked about it a little while ago, that back at the end of the 2002 season, Week 17, the Pats needed Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers to beat Chad Pennington and the New York Jets to make the postseason, but Pennington came out the winner. He threw for 196 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Favre was intercepted by Sam Garnes in the 3rd quarter to set up Wayne Corbett's 2nd touchdown of the game, and the Jets won this one by a score of 42-17.
Howard, Jim, and Phil possibly going to cover all the storylines in this game this afternoon. And Chad Pennington coming back to New York after he was jettisoned by the Jets, and just unceremoniously shown the door and handed his hat. And what he did for the Dolphins, the turnaround of the Dolphins.
Look at Fred Jackson on the punt return. He has been incredible today.
Fred Jackson with the punt return.
Meanwhile, Chad Pennington, you don't think he wants this one very badly today, do you?
Well, no, I can't imagine how desperately he would like to win. And again, just the whole Bill Parcells, Tony Sperano is just, could this be possibly Brett Favre's last game? There are so many subplots and entertaining stories involved with this game. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get it all in.
Meanwhile, 1:04 remaining here in the 4th quarter. The Bills are out of timeouts, cannot stop the clock. And let's see if Edwards puts the ball in the air or if the Bills just run out the rest of the season. He'll throw it. Breaks away from one tackler and throws incomplete. So that'll stop the clock with 57 seconds remaining. While we have a moment, the executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Sean McManus. The vice president of production of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. Today's game produced by Mark Wolf and directed by Bob Fishman. Senior producer of CBS Sports in the NFL today is Eric Mann. Our director, Bob Matina, back in New York. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Lance Barrow. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Steve Karasik. Associate directors of today's game here in Buffalo, Ryan Galvin and Alana Campbell. Our broadcast associates, Brian Jagoda and Chris Burns. Our technical manager, Jim Baker. Our technical director, Dennis Stone. Our audio supervisor, Kevin Little. Stats provided by Joe Castellano and Chuck Hinkle. And our spotter is Mike Luck. And a superb job by one and all, as usual.
And again, kudos to all of our techs and our cameramen and women who had to be out here in these conditions. There's Cheese, Pat Rondo. It has been, I guess you guys could tell us about the wind and how it's affected play.
I'm sure we'll hear about it for weeks.
You notice we keep the cameras warm, but we don't seem to care if they freeze.
52 seconds on the clock. Dan, you specifically asked Bill Belichick if after the game today if he'd stick around and watch and see what happens. No, not going to play. Fred Jackson. Inside the 45 to the 43. Jackson up to 134 yards on the day. Boy, what a 1-2 punch he and Marshawn Lynch ought to be next season when they're healthy. Jackson. And that should probably bring it to an end. Our final score, New England 13, Buffalo nothing. Coming up, the Burger King update for all of today's scores and highlights. For Dan Deerdorf, for our entire crew here in Buffalo, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Ralph Wilson Stadium. Happy New Year, everyone.